Thank you for being with us here this morning. And we're going to share with you this exciting information. And the more information we can have at hand, the better it allows us to make better decisions and to do it in a timely fashion as well. So today we're going to discuss how prevention is really the key for your long-term journey. We have to become mindful, not mindless, about which way we go, about the choices we make, and because there are many choices being offered, and just as we know on the internet, people have short-term span of attention. Many people are there trying to grab your attention and trying to sell you. So marketing is just huge. The psychology behind the marketing is also very effective in getting people to buy, right? So therefore we are called consumers. But again, the warning is that, in the word consumer, is the word we're being conned as well. Okay, so many people buy many things that do not serve them very well. So we're going to just emphasize this, like many are focused on what their wealth is, and when you're young, you're sort of considering you're going to be okay, you're better, you feel strong, you feel vital, perhaps, and this will allow you to just kind of be, more of a daredevil, perhaps, and take more risks. But, if you compare it to people that start to get up in age, and you see how, their vitality, number one, so quality of life is what we all want, okay? And as people age, I think it's going to be, the signs of aging shows up. This is where all of a sudden, it's kind of like the wake-up call, right? So, just like you might set your alarm, if you wake up an alarm a certain time, I think this is, if you're looking at optimal survival with vitality and consider that really your health is your wealth. And so much of my experience working with a lot of people as they get older, they're willing to pay more money, and some people spend, they say, in the last 90 days, most of their money on trying to regain their health. And it's almost like it's the end of the journey and you're kind of choosing it too late. But it's never too late, in essence, if you get, a bit more out of life with a bit more quality. So my strategy has been, ever since I was 20, and again, I'm 66 now, to, do as much from the preventative side. And I know I'm not perfect, but I sort of adapted this rule, 80-20, right? So if I go about most of the time choosing to do the right things and reinforce, then it's going to pay off. And so far I can just say that this strategy for me has worked. And I do get the comments from a lot of people that at my at age, my vitality, even my representation of someone my age, it's and some of the people that I keep on running into every so often, they say, you know what, you look younger. And that's a great compliment. And I feel that even in other aspects, do I feel certain signs of, aging setting in? There is. Okay, because I'm not perfect. But then it gets me to do research. I'm just looking for information on many subjects in many areas, and I'm very thankful to the internet of being able to provide it, because again, 20 years ago, or actually when I was 20, I did a lot of reading and a lot of books and so on, and went to seminars. But today we've got the luxury, call it that, of the internet, but then you have to disseminate between all that information. So I hope I can provide you here as being a source and offer you some tips and maybe some direction as to how you can make better decisions in this area. And I feel very strongly in what I've been doing. Again, my vitality is pretty good for 60 years. It's great, really, okay? And again, I have not had a day off sick at all for at least 35 years. No flus that have taken me down. Do I sneeze sometimes? Yeah. Do I have had maybe a little bit of a sore throat setting in? But I'm always able to get a check and take control over it. So as long as you're able to do it and support a strong immune system, that's the key. Okay, so how to do it. And it definitely has become a challenge. And we see that, and just you look at the statistics today with the cancers, and I just, almost every day someone is sharing with me, they know somebody that just has been diagnosed with cancer. And you don't, these things again, understand that you don't catch them. All these lifestyle diseases, they predominantly, it's something that develops over time, okay? And then, if you're too busy just living, doing what you have, and you don't do any prevention, and then for some people, which I know of, just even in the last couple of weeks, they've gone down so fast. They've been diagnosed with cancer, and then it's all of a sudden they're losing 10 pounds in a week, and in a month, 20, 30 pounds. And it's not the cancer that kills them, it's the cachexia, or the body wasting away. So why not do preventative strategies? And that's what it takes. Okay, when we go about many endeavors, we choose strategies. Okay, so, and because this is really, it's a fight of survival, and we all came in here alive. You're born alive to have a life, and so, okay, and you need to support that process. So the mind needs to be attuned. You need to kind of even do that mirror vision, okay? Watch yourself in the mirror, and what's that say about you, right? And it's look at yourself in the entirety of what's going on. And then just if you buy a piece of technology, piece of equipment, you often get a manual. The problem is you did not come with a manual to say what you exactly need to do. So you just follow the strategies, things that have been shared from your parents, your family, your environment, the society, the culture, et cetera, et cetera. And then, of course, a lot of the programming that is taking place through television and internet, and, again, it's marketing. Everybody wants to sell you something, and they come across this is the latest, greatest thing since sliced bread. So, but again, question that. What is it that you need? And the easiest and fastest way to determine what it is, it's to find out where you are perhaps the weakest in your body. And again, I'm going to bring before you, we've had that special offer on our health energy test. And everything being energy, if you can see where you need some help because you got blockages, okay, from energetic blockages. And again, where the energy goes, the blood flows. So the key is always circulation, because blood supplies oxygen, supplies the nutrients to those areas. So if there is things that blocking you, hindering you from being well in that particular area of your body, then perhaps by finding that out, and then the strategy behind it to unlocking that, and how to keep yourself in a much more optimal energetic performance. Okay, it's what it takes. It's not just about, and the problem being that we've been so fixated on the idea, a pill for every ill, and it can be from pharmaceuticals to nowadays even supplements. But it's really what we have to adhere to is a lifestyle. So make the lifestyle choices, okay, and weed through it. So, but get the information that you need, and I feel that I can really bring you valuable information in that health energy test. And so that's available on our website, bioenergywellnesscare.com, and we have a special offering on that for $99.99, typically $129.99. So take advantage of it. It also gives you a good description as to what you get from that. And if you want to see, there's many of my previous videos shows you as to how I can evaluate that with my wands, my energy guns, as I call them, So you can even do it remotely, okay? So you could be living wherever, China, South Africa, it doesn't matter where, and just email me the pictures that I need. And remember, a photograph is an energetic expression as to who you are. So the several photographs, follow the examples that are going to be asked from you there, which pictures to submit or email them over to me. And you'll be surprised as to how much information you're going to get from that. So this is not about, selling you a bunch of pills, but first of all, we're going to show you where you perhaps could be deficient from an energetic perspective. And then you can strategize, okay, the implementation of good nutrition, hydration, but number one, the attitude, the mindset, okay? The mind, again, is in every cell of the body, so where we're at with our mindset towards these things. So this will allow you to have a better journey, okay? No guarantees in life, as they say, but the more you offer to control these things, definitely always is the better the outcome, okay? It's just like cooking a meal in the kitchen. It's when you put things together in that kitchen and you look at the meal, probably it looks great, it will taste good, and it will now give you better nourishment. And again, it's the ingredients. So likewise, we're formed out of somewhere up to about 100 trillion cells, 100,000 processes per second per cell, and these processes need to be supported. Okay, so what goes on in this body, it's really totally magic. Okay, and I know that it's our nature. We want to survive. So, and we just don't want to survive minimally. We want to survive optimally. Okay, and I hope that if this is for you to choose. So we begin with the health energy test, and that will give you a good foundation, okay, because it lays out the weakest part and how to build that back up again, okay. We can, help you with your nutritional side. Of course, the first thing that all your cells in your body need is oxygen, right? So next thing is water. Water is up there with oxygen. And to drink good quality, clean, energized water. And filtration should be the absolute minimal these days, because all the municipal water systems or even the wells got contaminants in them, and that could be added, things like chlorine, chloramine, another derivative, which is chlorine and ammonia, fluoride in many areas, and we know the effects again of the fluorides. It's about shrinking and really crystallizing the pineal gland, and we know that the pineal gland is our third eye and shutting down the intuition. Okay, so it's important to choose, really good quality water. So do what you can on that department, but any kind of filtration, providing your filters work, is a good beginning, and then from there you can take other kind of strategies. There's lots more technology that brings to you all kinds of water devices, water ionizers, and so you can definitely require water, and potable water in the world is like something like 1% now. More of the water supply is becoming contaminated. So plastics, we know, is causing a lot of issues. The oceans are awash with plastics, the environment, it's damaging to other life, other species, and this is not a good scene, because we're kind of really making our whole environment dirty. We really need to take quick action on it. So be responsible, okay, that if you buy anything in plastic, as to how you deal with that, okay? Don't just throw it anywhere, just thinking, this is going to break down or something like that. You can contribute to the environment in a large way, okay? But again, using things in plastic, particularly a lot of plastic bottles, water, drinks of all kinds. If you do, again, that there is still chances, and more of it comes out all the time, that plastic breaks down as well, and whatever chemicals there are in the plastics do get absorbed into our bodies. And again, as you know, parents and so on, if you do have children, a lot of these things you consume, they show more and more. It weakens your DNA, which then you pass down to your offspring. So everybody needs to become more diligent. It's just no longer an attitude is that it doesn't really matter what I put in. I'm this machine that's going to take care. If you compare, again, the statistics from 50 years ago, the rate of cancers, back then you would not hear of so many young children, babies and young children, and so on, the rate of cancers. And now it's 1 in 2, and it's going to escalate. But they have been saying just lately with something like 300,000 new towers going in, or antenna systems with the 5G system, how they are expecting the cancer rates to even go up by an additional 50%. And believe me, it's not fun when a person has cancer, and we all deal with cancer cells anyways, but if your immune system is strong enough, it will handle that, okay? And apparently we, 2,000 to 5,000 cancer cells in the body on a daily basis, and yeah, keep the strong immune system and you can deal with it. But when we're overwhelmed literally with contaminants and, poor support from poor nutrition and hydration, and we accumulate more of these toxins, just like what we're doing. We're throwing the plastics in the ocean. Well, it has an effect on the ocean life. And it's just now being documented almost daily, okay, of what it does to all the fish, all the species living in the oceans. But it's not just them. And we're at the top of the food chain, so we're consuming any of these foods, it's going to get us, okay? So, and this is probably, all the pollution. So energetic pollution, again, from these transmissions, the Wi-Fi, cell phones, you name it. 200 million new frequencies in the last 100 years. We're bombarded, we're basically, continuously being ambushed, assaulted, and then damaged by this stuff, okay? So they don't have to all be physical stuff, okay? But the evidence is just becoming so real that we cannot be like the ostriches that stick in our head into the sand and say it doesn't exist, because your butt, if you stick your head in the sand, your butt sticks out, so something can definitely affect you there. So I see not, I know not, I whatever, hear not is no longer a healthy attitude if you want better survival. Okay, so check out so much of this, and I'm trying to just share as much information from my own experiences, from my journey, and I want to do the best for me, and I'm going to try to share what has worked for me. Okay, am I perfect? No. And am I the only one? Absolutely not. Okay, there are many great resources out there. I'm just part of of the overall movement, and definitely more and more people are waking up to the fact. And so congratulations, okay, if you're making that shift. I think this is the best decision you can make. So I'm all about just want to open up, promote, share, and here's the thing also, that so many people are trying to be somebody else. So it takes about being you, who you really are and why you're really here, okay? So establish that, right? Your purpose, okay? And make that stronger, right? And when you become energized with those thoughts and really inspired, right? So inspired in spirit, okay? If you have that life behind you, because who are we? We're spirit, soul, mind, emotion, physical body, right? There's many layers to us, and for many, they're still just thinking that it's mind-body kind of thing, and therefore it's sort of mindless. But just be aware, right? That so it begins by taking that healthy attitude, right? And make that a priority. And the more you are, then you can also be a help to so many other people. We need to be really, helpers. Okay, we're not just about trying to build these little empires of our own here, because all of that, you can see there's many clashes happening at many fronts today. Okay, and the level of consumption as consumers and the waste we've created in that is not going to be sustainable for the long term. Many crises are coming that way, and so make it your objective, okay? And it begins again by being healthy. Then that way you can be purposeful. If not, it becomes more challenging. And just watch some of the older people as they become more feeble and they find themselves in these homes. And it doesn't have to be just old people. A lot of people at younger ages, seeing some people with strokes. Okay, the most disabling thing to the body, you go from where you're reasonable, perhaps active, vital, all of a sudden you got a stroke and half your body becomes disabled. It's the most disheartening, frightening thing really that can happen to you. Okay, and then from there, if you stay disabled for a long time, the road to recovery, it's possible, and always take that as an option. But okay, so let's get you on track. Okay, do a health energy test that I can offer. I have a great special there for you. It's going to provide you with great information. And then you start again incorporating that strategy: proper hydration, proper nutrition. Make sure that you get yourself sleeping better, which so many people are challenged as well, because how important is good quality sleep? It's very important because your body does healing, repairing, rejuvenating during that time. Okay, and every cell of the body is being replaced in different time frames, anything from blood cells for about 30 days, and you get into bone cells, it takes years to have every one of those cells. But every cell in your body will heal, repair, rejuvenate itself. And so the quality by which you can have that, okay, many are working on things like anti-aging. It's a big word that's been going around for quite some time, and then many are trying to fix that from an outside perspective, slapping on all kinds of products on you. But remember this, it's an inside job. And so, as I say, beauty begins from the inside, not from outside in. You can be helped from the outside, but predominantly it's going to work from the inside out. So, good mindset, start managing that, look what your body really just needs, support yourself at all levels, and be inspired, right? Because that is the real driving force, and that will allow you then to seek the things that you're going to require. The challenges, of course, it's just, we're being inundated from just so many areas, and whether you look, and a lot of people are not looking up enough, and I see it happening here in the area of Vancouver, but there's chemtrails pretty well daily out in the sky, and sometimes some days are more than others. But if there are more websites on this, check it out. I mean, all the stuff, the barium, the whatever, plutonium, the aluminum, everything that's being sprayed is affecting us, the animals, the crops. So, and it's heavily being done globally, okay? So nobody is kind of safe anymore in any space, and this is where, be aware. You're being basically poisoned at so many levels, and many controversies, but you'll see how much so. If you got a computer, or you got your iPad, or even your telephone, how much research you can do. The subject of vaccines is huge, a lot of controversy, and so much has been pushed down our throat to accept that this is really vital to life, but more and more of it goes out and being admitted to that this is really creating a problem in many ways. Just the reports coming out of China, 1 million people, 1 million children have been administered with toxic vaccines. And 1 million, that's a lot of children, okay? So as one person, Dr. Horowitz, years ago said, the Holocaust has never ended, and so much, people are sort of talking about denial. It's not denial. It's going on now. Okay, it's not just a certain group of people, but it's all of us. Okay, we're being affected by these things. Now look what happened to the court's judgment on Monsanto, which, by the way, is now owned by Bayer Pharmaceuticals. Okay, and hey, there was a 289 million judgment against Monsanto because of the glyphosates, which really is almost in all the foods there today. Okay, the chemical Roundup that people use in their lawns and gardens has been used for many years, and it's been poisoning. So we all have toxic levels in us. In some parts of the world, it's perhaps even worse because of the pollution levels are so high. But we all have that in there, and these chemicals do not belong trapped in our bodies. So you need to somehow get rid of these toxic waste because they interfere with your biological actions as well, and will also, minimize your health. So be aware. I'm not the only one that's talking about it, and like I said, there's so many people who've got very detailed information on it. So there's not a lack of information available to us, but it's just you doing your own due diligence. Okay, I can only do for my part. For me, you are your own healer. I'm my own healer. You cut your hair, you cut your nail, you cut your skin, the vitality that you feel. Okay, so, and you do not have to be limited by the number. Okay, how old are you? Rather take a viewpoint and change again even your thinking, change your language. How young are you? Well, for me, I'm 66, so is it a good number? Sure. But when I turned 60, again, I put it out, reset 40. I made another stronger commitment at that point in time. And today it's kind of like, yeah, there's certain things I feel, and then it just allows me. So I'm glad I get to experience. I'm glad I'm not perfect. Okay, I'm glad that I can feel certain things, because as I work on me and I discover certain things that, oh, I'm able to change this, then I'm wanting to share this. Okay, so that's why I look at so many things, technologies. I've got some great stuff that is going to be coming available and that I want to just share more and more about how to call it reshape or revitalize. Okay, the cells. Everything happens from a cellular level, and so with this terahertz quantum technology that we had on our last video last week, if you're interested, and we're not fully able to share that yet, but it's not something new. It's actually that technology's been in existence for some time. We would I've had personally experience with it, and it definitely has an amazing effect from a cellular level. Okay, so dormant cells become revitalized. Cells that are perhaps diseased, again, they're just get revitalized. Toxins can be let go out of it. So that's certainly one level. So the future is that energy, healing. Okay, well, we will use technology as well, and perhaps one day we'll be hooked up to one device or lay on this bed. It's already there, really. Okay, and you'll see there's so much things, so much information, so much technology is exploding. So you have so many choices there, right? From, like I say, from nutrition to all these other controversies, and of course there's going to be many opposing things. And this is where it takes what? An open mind. So have a good attitude. You want to know, okay, buy the truth, okay, for yourself, and that's where it begins. And disseminate between all the different things. Ask questions, right? And it's hard sometimes to get in that mindset because you've been perhaps programmed into a certain profession, and that people will ask me, like, where did you get your education from and all these things? And so that's the key, right? Is information and making that information ours. And it doesn't necessarily have to be going to a particular man-made institution. Life itself is our teacher. Okay, so observe. There's books, there's like, again, so many movies now, YouTube stuff is shared an awful lot. And while a lot of this stuff on the truth is there, make it available. And we've heard stuff about censorship going on and maybe certain things being removed. So, definitely, and I know that as we're being challenged from so many different fronts, other things will open up, okay? So fear could set in for some people, and definitely when their health starts failing, okay? But again, this happens at many different levels. So don't fear fear, okay? False evidence appearing real, perhaps, to you, but just kind of, like I say, again, go for it, okay? If you're watching this and you've been following some of my stuff, obviously, there's levels of interest there. And it's important that you do for yourself, then share it with other people. Just bring them the information. And for me, that's what I do on a daily basis. I work with people, I share with people, and some will, some won't, some don't. It's all many different decisions, and I don't feel I'm going to be, if somebody says no thank you, or whatever, even if they don't say thank you, it doesn't really matter, right? There's another person, planting seeds, so on. That's what I'm all about, and work with the ones that are willing to be worked with. And that's the key, because if they're not wanting to, you're wasting your time, and because they're just simply not ready, okay? So, again, I just feel very strongly about this health energy test, and we have a great special on that, and I can help you in allowing yourself, only decisions to make. We've got videos. Hey, a lot of issues begin in the feed, and look at some of those videos there on YouTube or even my Facebook. The stuff you put on your feed, again, it's everything. There's so many different angles that you can pursue this, and wherever you begin, it's always good to start, okay? But it's, again, the mindset about there. So if you value your life, and if your health is your wealth, then take note, begin at the level that you're able to, and then just keep on moving forward. And of course, sometimes families are not that supportive when you're making some of these changes. So find some people that perhaps are willing to share with you your journey. So it's, partner up or whatever, or connect, whether it's somebody you know closely or even, long distance, telephone, whatever, email, Facebook. Lots of people are sharing lots of ideas on Facebook. So, hey, tap into some of those sources. Abundance, really, okay? There's a level of abundance. The universe functions with abundance, and we are setting our limitations. And this is where it becomes so, open up your mind. Just be open, but also question. Just don't necessarily open up to buy into anything, okay? It's worth your time. It will make you the best journey. And why not do that, okay? Everybody wants to be what? Happy, healthy. And people are not healthy, they're not happy. And when you watch people suffer, yeah, you can just tell. Like, it's not something that, if you see that you really, for the most part, for most people, would not want to choose that, okay? That suffering. I don't think anybody really wants to suffer and chooses that, but it happens. So it's daily action, okay, that you take every day. So it begins with the mind, the right mindset. Wake up, look at yourself in the mirror, smile, say thank you that you're here, because you only have the day, right? So make each day count in those decisions, and begin with that, again, with that great attitude. And love yourself enough, because if you don't love yourself, how can you love anyone else, okay? And I will give you an awful lot of motivation, you know. Love is the source of everything. If you have a lot of love in you, you will share it with others as well, okay? So make it your purpose. A lot of people don't really know what their purpose is, so they're just kind of going about and they're really at a loss, okay? Going off in all kinds of different directions. Been there, okay? And I think this is for, in the culture of younger people there today, because, you know, you watch so many of the kids, they're continuously into their electronics, their phones, their iPads, whatever. And being totally absorbed, and that becomes their reality. And that's your challenge too, depending on what you're having to look at. So we've kind of brought, you know, some ideas here before you. And again, I just want to share with you this information today. There's so much more to be said, but you are definitely, as they say, you know, you are what you eat. Very true, but it's only a part of it. You are what you eat, digest, absorb, and what your cells can utilize. So that's quite a process, but then we have to again go through all the different layers, okay? So I trust that your health is your wealth, and the material possessions, yes, they can serve you, but they can bring you very limited happiness. But if you're healthy and you can thrive and have abundance of life, you'll be much more happy, okay? And like a lot of the other things are going to become immaterial. You see some of the people with simple lives out there, less cares, and they're totally happy people. Because materialism only, you know, often the more you have to take care of as they break down. Disappointments, right? So there's disappointments in life, but you can control an awful lot of that. So for today, again, my message is like, I love you, want the best for you, bring this information because I think it's important, and please take advantage of our special offer on the health energy test. Have another good look at that and check it out, and you'll be very happy to see what you'll get. It'll be a good guideline for you to begin with, and there's many other aspects. The other thing is, again, about the all the different energies that we're being bombarded with. You've seen some of the videos on the OGs, the orgone generators. We have our new Universal Life Force card. It's here in my hands. You can see Flower of Life. This will basically tune in to the life force that is in the cosmos, in the universe, because everywhere is energy. And we're being affected by the entire cosmos from the Earth. And just as an example, what happens, we know with activity of the moon. Full moon has activity on the tidal setting of the ocean. We have also water. Some people are being dramatically affected by moon activities. Okay, that's why we have the word lunatic. But there's just so much more, and particularly, again, warning against the dangers of so much of the energy radiation that is being projected to us, that ambushes, assaults us, damages us. Cell phones, all the electronics, and we do all need it nowadays, or most of us, we cannot function without a cell phone and some of these other electronic devices. So then it's protect yourself, and this will give you a great level of protection, and we have that on our website as well. So check it out. And we just thank you for being here this morning. Wish you just a phenomenal day. And this is all for your health. Make it count. Thank you.